What you guys, got another error fix video here for you. This is another blue screen of death, as you can see here, called Inaccessible Boot Device. We've had this one posted on the forum, and I thought I'd make a quick video to show you how you can go about fixing this issue. Now, it could be numerous different things that causes this error message, so I'll show you the system booted up here. As it starts to boot up, you will suddenly get a blue screen, as you'll see in a second, flash up on the screen, and it will then reboot. Now, sometimes it allows you to get in the safe mode, sometimes it don't, but there you go, there's the actual blue screen. And then after a couple of times of doing that, you'll get the preparing to automatic repair. And this is because it's crashed a couple of times and it automatically goes into this mode. Now, if this doesn't fix your problem, then we're going to take a look at some of the other ways you can fix this. So once you get to this automatic repair, you've got a couple of options open to you. Here you can either restart the computer and it will continue to happen, or you can click on the advanced options, and again sometimes this will give you access to troubleshooting tools that you can use to fix your problem. So let's go and have a look at the BIOS first. First off, hit settings and make sure that your hard disk is pointing to Windows Boot Manager. Okay, also hit settings and you can see boot option 1 is Windows Boot Manager. Make sure that is the case for you. Another thing you want to do is settings and advanced, also integrated peripherals. Click on this, and then once you get in here, SATA mode, look on there and you should see Attache mode. If you do, you can change it to IDE mode, see if it boots. If you're in IDE mode, change it to Attache mode and see if that fixes your problem. Save by clicking F10 and you should be good to go. Now, if that doesn't resolve your problem, you can try something else, and I'll show you how to do that. So when you're getting that error message popping up on your screen, if you want to hold the shift key down, your left shift key button on the restart, hopefully you can get into this choose an option area. If you can get to here, then you've got a chance to try to resolve your problem. So we're going to go into troubleshoot here, and you can see we've got a couple of other options if we can get into this mode here before we get into the Windows CD area. So if you can get here, you can reset your PC. Now if we hit reset your PC, you can see keep my files, removes apps and settings, but keeps all your personal files. Remember guys, all your apps will be removed if you use this feature, and your settings will also be removed. So you will lose something on your system. Again, remove everything. This is going to wipe out everything and put it all back, okay, if you use that method. If that's the option that you go down to, I would use that as a last resort. First, I'd go into advanced options, and you can see here this is the advanced options area. I will cover these ones on the other area when we boot into a Windows CD if you can't get to this area here. Okay, so we'll talk about those in the next part of the video and the command prompt. What I wanted to cover here is the startup settings. So what you want to try here once you get into this area is to try to enable safe mode, okay, and this is going to help you to get into your computer, to get to the desktop, so you can then make backups or try to use system restore, whatever it is that you want to try and do from there. Okay, disable drivers, try to reinstall drivers and stuff from there, because normally sometimes these are driver related. Also, you can see here disable driver signal reinforcement, which is another area which you can try as well. So we're going to restart here. Okay, so once you get into the startup settings, I would try enable safe mode. The way you can do that is just by tapping on number 4, and this will enter safe mode. If you are able to get into safe mode, you can then try to reinstall some drivers, because it could be a driver related issue, and you can diagnose further from there. Okay, now if you do want to see a complete full resolve to this issue, you can carry on watching, and I will cover that a little bit further on in the video. So I've listed out some stuff you can try here. You want to remove any recently added hardware from the computer, remove any recently added software, remove any recently added drivers from there, try the last known good configuration option, try system restore, open up command prompt as admin and try and run check disk /F and R, and also unplug any devices that you have plugged into the computer, i.e. USB devices, and open up command prompt and try SFC scan now. Now after you've tried all those, if you're still having the same issue, then the next thing to do is boot up to a Windows 10 or Windows disk or USB flash drive, depending on what version of Windows you're running, and we'll do that next. So we're going to boot up to our Windows disk or USB flash drive. You will need to change the BIOS boot order. So to enter the BIOS, you're going to need to tap on one of the keys which I've listed above to get into the BIOS settings, and that is escape key, F1, F2, F8, del key or delete key, or F10, or whatever key your motherboard tells you to tap. And you can see that normally at the BIOS post screen when you come up, it's at the bottom. Keep tapping that and you should be able to enter the BIOS and change the boot order. So we're going to push enter and boot to our Windows CD here. Now you can either create a CD or a USB flash drive, it doesn't really matter. Let it boot up to that device. Now you will need to change the boot order in your BIOS. So once you've got to this stage here, we're just going to go next here, and then we want to click on the repair your computer. Okay, so what we're going to do here now is click on Troubleshoot. Now we've got some options open to us here, and these are our options for us. Now you may want to try the Startup Repair first, and all you need to do is click on this and then click on the operating system here, and it will try to do a startup repair. Now you may end up going back to the same old problem when you reboot your system. It may end up where when you reboot you end up with the same error and it's not fixed your issue. You can click on advanced options and go back in and try to do something else. Now the next obvious option is System Restore. Now the problem with System Restore is by default it's not been enabled inside Windows 10. So when you click on System Restore and you go Windows 10, you may get this error message where there's no System Restore points because it's not been enabled and it's not turned on. So that means you can't now use this method to fix your problem. So we're going to cancel this and go back to Troubleshoot. The System Image Recovery, what this is going to do is you're only going to be able to use this option if you have a system image created, which you've created yourself, and you can use this to go to. So for instance, we'll push Windows 10 here, it will scan your system for that system image. It also wants you to either insert the actual image from a DVD or backup or whatever it is that you've actually done here. And if you haven't got that, you can't use this method. You can see here, select system image here, and you could just go through here and you can select your image if you've got one. Okay, you can go into advanced and so on and use that if you have got images, but that should detect it straight away. We're going to cancel that and come out and go back into Troubleshoot here now. Now the other option you've got is go back to a previous build. Now if you've upgraded Windows 10, use an upgrade, it will allow you to go back to the previous version of Windows 10 that you had. So for instance, if you're on the anniversary edition, it's might allow you to go back, and to do this sometimes it may fix your issue because obviously you've got an issue during the upgrade process. And that is another option for you. I'm not going to do that option here. So what we're going to do here is go into the command prompt. Now once we're in the command prompt here, we're going to change this to C:, and push enter and type dir just to make sure that we're in the Windows directory, and you can see no files are found, and that's because we're on a Windows disk here, and sometimes it comes up as D. So we're just going to push D:, and then type dir, and we should see the Windows directory, and there it is right there, and that is our Windows directory. So we're in the right place now. So what I advise you to do first is try SFC space / scan now, and try this one first just before we do any drastic changes, and just push enter, and this will begin the process of trying to fix any files that are corrupted or anything like that. So we'll just let that complete and then we'll come back. Okay, so that's now completed. Try to reboot your system and see if that fixes your issue. If it doesn't, then get yourself back to this location where we are now, which is the command prompt, and try your next thing. And then also you want to type in here check disk space / R. Now you don't need to do the / F on the recovery if you're in that recovery CD. So we're just going to push this, and you can see here check disk cannot run because the volume is all used by another process. Checkmate. Okay, I'm going to dismount this. So basically it wants to dismount, so we're going to say yes to dismount, and it will then run a check disk on that system. So let that run, and then when that finishes we'll come back and try a more drastic approach. Okay, so that's now completed, and what we're going to do here now is try something a little bit more drastic if this hasn't worked for you. So what you want to do here is exit out of here and type exit and reboot your system and see if it does fix it. If it doesn't fix your problem and you're still having issues, then we need to go to something a bit more drastic. So what we're going to do here is type out some commands here and try to fix it via regback and using the registry backup files which have been created. So let's try and do that now. So I've got a microphone in front of my keyboard here, so it makes it a bit more difficult to type, but I'll try my best here. So we're going to change directory here into the Windows System 32 directory, and once we get there we're going to change the directory to config, like so. So we're in the config area now, you can see, and that's the path at the bottom. So there's the config. So what we want to do is type dir, and you will see a list of files inside here. Okay, now inside here you will see the ones we're interested in is default, and you can see software, security, system, and stuff like that, and SAM. These are the ones that we're interested in. Okay, and you can see the date on these here. Now what we need to do here is go into the regback area, because this is where all of the files are stored for backup. And if you've watched my previous videos, you'll see why it's important to keep updated files in there, just in case something drastic like this happens. So what we're going to do here is we're going to change the directory to regback. So we're going to go cd, put reg, and then back, all one word, just like so, and now we're in the regback folder. Now we can type dir inside here, and you can now see we have a list of files here. Now inside here you can see system, software, security, SAM, and default. What's important here is to remember is you must see data on these files. If you see a 0 on these files, then it's not going to work for you, because there is no data on these backup files, and all you're doing is copying empty files to your directory. You won't be able to boot to it. Okay, so these are your files that you need to do here, and you can see that they're a considerable size with data there, and these are the ones we're going to copy. So basically inside this area here, inside our config area, we're going to back up these files first, rename these and back them up, and then we're going to copy all the files from the regback area into the config area. Okay, so first off, let's go back in the other directory here. So we're going to go back to our cd ... and this will take us back a directory to config. Now what we need to do is rename the default, the SAM, the security, the software and the system file first in the config area. And the reason why we're doing that is just in case something goes wrong, we can always revert back. So we're making backups basically of our originals. So we're going to type ren, which is rename, and then we're going to go space and then default, just like so. And then we're going to do space and then default, and then we'll do dot back. Okay, you can call it whatever you like. You can do 1, 2, 3 if you want, default 1, default 2. It just makes it a bit more easier with the dot back file, because we now know exactly what we're calling it. So now we've renamed the default one. We're going to do the SAM. So we do the same thing again, ren, and then SAM, and then SAM again, and then dot back, or whatever you're calling your extension. Let me move that out of the way so you can see. There we go, and push enter. You won't be able to see it yet, but they will change when I show you in a second. Next one we want to do security. So we're going to go back. We're going to do ren and security, and then security. Make sure I've spelled that right. Okay, and we're going to do dot back, and then push enter, and that's renamed that file for us. And then we're going to do the next one, which is software, and then software dot back, and then we're going to do the last one, which is system. I'm going to do ren system, and then system dot back. There we go. I'll just push enter there, and there we go. We've renamed all them files now. So if we try to boot the system up now, it won't work. So don't reboot just yet, because otherwise you're going to end up with an error. And so what we're going to do first is we're going to go back to the location to have a look. Oh, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll change the file, put the files in there first before we do that. So let me just change the directory again back to regback now. That'll be the best way. So we're back in regback now, and we want to copy the files from regback to the config area. So that's what we're going to do now. So we've backed up our originals, and then we're going to copy those back in. So all we need to do here now is copy this file. So I've cleared the screen so you can see it better by typing CLS, and what we're going to do here is copy the files from the regback area. So all these files here, we're going to copy all these into our config folder, and to do that we're just going to type copy space star dot star, just like so, and then space dot dot, just like so. And what that's going to do is copy them into that directory. So push enter, and you can see 5 files have been copied into there. So what we can do now is go back to our config folder. So we're going to do change directory space and then dot dot here into our config area, and from there we can now type dir, and you should now see the files. So what we've done here, you can see default.back is what we created, and it's now copied the new default file from the regback into that config area. And it goes the same with all the others. So you can see security, security.back, SAM and SAM.back, and so on, software and software.back, system.back, and security. You can see there, that's copied all of those across. All you need to do now is type exit, and we can type exit, and that will exit us out of here. And you can then restart your PC, or you can continue to Windows 10, which is what I advise you to do, and then that will start your system up. Make sure you remove your CD and USB flash drive and boot your system up. Let it boot up, and you should see your problem has now been resolved. So we'll just let this load into the desktop, and there you go, we're back at the desktop. So I hope this one helps you out, guys. If it does, then hit the like button and also hit the subscribe button if you want to keep up to date when we upload new videos. Also, if you've got any problems with your computers, guys, then head over to the forums, or if you just want to chat and join the community, then the forums is the place to be. And if you haven't joined my Facebook fan page, then pop over there and give us a little like up over there. Maybe write a review over there, just saying thanks to all your videos, or whatever you want to say. Okay. Anyway, have a great weekend, and I shall see you again in the next video. Bye for now.